Joe Simon. Coach, want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Yeah, my pleasure, guys. Thanks for having me.
Of course, when we talk about Liberty football, what a big win last week. A last-second drive, some heroics from your offense. Talk about what this win meant for you guys as a program, and from a coach's perspective, what it was like going through that night.
Man, everybody who was at the game, a lot of friends and family were telling me how fun of a game it was and how exciting. And I'm just like, I don't know how much fun it was for me. You guys might have had a good time, but I was, my blood pressure just came down. I think today, it was wild, just back and forth. There were times where I felt like, oh man, I don't know if we're gonna be able to recover from that. There were a lot of really big plays by Champion. They got a great quarterback, and he made some huge plays. And it was really probably one of the more emotional games I've been involved in because of the highs and the lows that we went through. But it was fun, to get the win in the end, to be able to continuously come back from adversity. That was really big for us as a team, and we needed that win. We've had some wins over some teams that I didn't have the best records, or we didn't necessarily know if they were kind of on our level as far as the division goes, and that type of thing. But Champion is a Division 5 school, and while their record isn't great, they've played really well against some teams that I see as good. But LeBray, they were right there with them, and they could have had the lead in the first quarter. A couple things didn't go their way, so it was a team that I felt like was to our level, and that was kind of. What's the right word? They can play with anybody. They remind me of us a little bit, and that they can play with anyone. And for us to come out on top was a big step in the right direction.
Coach, I mean, looking at that too, that win definitely puts you guys in the playoff picture and is keeping you guys in the playoff picture. You got another good matchup, your last away matchup now of the season against Newton Falls. Preview this matchup a little bit with the Tigers, what you're expecting from Newton Falls as you guys are trying to get another victory and try to maybe move your way up those standings a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I try not to talk too much about playoffs with our kids because I don't want them to look ahead. But there's no doubt about it. We needed that win for playoff ramifications, and it helped in that regard. And Newton Falls is, and they're a big team up front. They have some big boys up there, and they can push you around a little bit if you're not tough, if you're not fundamentally sound, and they can run the football. They're another team that's played well against some good teams, haven't been able to kind of hold on and take that next step to where they're beating some of those teams. But we played some teams earlier this year that I don't know how to put it exactly. We kind of like let them hang around. We got in the red zone a couple times and we didn't finish drives. And the longer you keep a team in the game, the more confidence they're going to get, the better chance they have of playing well consistently, because they'll get that confidence and they'll ride that and they'll keep going and they'll get more confidence and they'll start playing better and better. And by the fourth quarter, they're feeling good, and it's a battle. And we're a young team as far as understanding how to win and understanding how to win. Early. You put 14 points on the team in the first quarter and 28 by halftime, and that team's going to be tough for them to come back from that mentally, as well as physically. So, that's something that we need to learn. And I'm hoping that as the year goes on, we kind of understand different ways to win. We found ways to win, and that's great. I'm hoping that consistency is our next step, because if we play consistently, we're going to be a tough out.
Coach, we got to talk about DC Farrell, because he's come on the scene and he has played so well for you guys. He's one of the big reasons why you guys were able to win last week. And he is up for Baird Brothers Big Dog of the Valley this week as well. Talk about some of the things that you've seen from him and what's made him so impressive this year. And then some of the reasons why Liberty faithful should go out and vote for DC until Saturday at midnight.
The main reason, not just to vote for him, but of why he's had so much success is just the kind of kid he is and the work ethic that he brings. And he's part of a really talented freshman class, and they all have had a really good work ethic, and they challenge each other every day. If we're doing conditioning and sprints, him and a couple other kids, Marquez Patterson, they're constantly pushing each other, trying to beat the other guy, and they're neck and neck. And that's going to make you better, and that has made him better. And being a freshman and having the ability to play under the lights on Friday night against some of the best teams around, that's not easy to do. And the fact that he hasn't been afraid of the moment, and that he kind of stepped up in big situations. We played Lakeview in week 2, and it was a big game. We were going into overtime. I'm sorry, it was week 3. We were going in overtime, and he's the reason we were going into overtime. He made some huge throws down the stretch, and that's only the 3rd game of his high school career, and it told me a lot about him, that he's able to come back from adversity, and he's not going to get down on himself too much, and he'll have a short memory. He throws picks from time to time. That happens to all quarterbacks, and he doesn't go in the tank. He's able to move on to the next play, and that's just incredible for a freshman to be able to do that. Obviously his athletic ability is as good as it gets, especially for a freshman. His speed is outstanding. His quickness is not. Speed is and quickness are different to me. Quickness is how quickly you can get in and out of cuts, and that kind of thing. And speed is more like high end. When you're fastest, how fast are you going? And he has a little bit of both. He has that next gear, but he also has the quickness to make people miss and get out of the pocket. And he has a strong arm. He's only about 5'7", 150 pounds, so he doesn't look like much, but he could throw the ball. And he's a tough kid. He's becoming a leader. He's one of our captains. I don't know if I've ever heard of a freshman captain in my years of coaching, but he earned it. And that's the type of kid he is.
Just a follow up real quick about him. As a freshman coming into the summer, I'm sure he had to kind of earn that quarterback role. What kind of things did you see in the summer from him and the work ethic that made you so comfortable with putting him in that role as a quarterback and as a captain?
Well, one of the things is one of our junior high coaches last year, his name's Don McKinney, is one of our varsity coaches this year. And he told me a lot about him, and, kind of just let me know, like, hey, this kid has the ability to play right away. And, that's one thing for a coach to say it, but it's another thing to put a kid out there against guys who are, 6'4", 260 and can run and are trying to tackle him. When that happens, he's still going to be able to perform, or where this isn't junior high anymore. You don't have, little kids running after you. You have grown men coming after you. And, we did some passing scrimmages, and he did well in those. Physically he was able to make the throws that we needed, so that was a good sign. And, the stuff I was talking about earlier as far as him competing with everyone, he was winning a lot of the sprints that we did in, when we had seniors going up against him. And, he wasn't going to back down from those type of competitions. And, that told me a lot about him. And once we put the pads on, it took him a game or two to kind of get comfortable. But we felt like, his just overall athleticism gave us the best chance to win. So after 2 games, we named him the starter. Him and Derek DiMatteo were battling, and Derek is a phenomenal kid who didn't take things the wrong way. He continued to work hard after DC was named the starter, and now he's a starter at tight end. That's just the kind of kid he is. He just wants to be on the field. So those two working together played a big role. Derek's willing to help him out. DC's willing to help him out. It was a competition, and and it was a friendly competition because they want the team to do well. And that's gone a long way in both of their developments.
A lot of things to be excited for Liberty football. I think that's no question. And in a season of ups and downs with a very young team of interchanging parts and everything, what is the biggest thing you think this team has learned about itself this season to this point, week 1 to now?
Good question. Because there's a lot of growth that's happened. I think probably just that we're able to win after adversity hits, because that's not easy to do, to be able to kind of keep your head and stay calm and collected. And sometimes we aren't calm and collected. There's no doubt about it. And any coach will tell you that about his kids. Like, they're going to get upset. They're going to have little tirades on the sideline here and there, but can you come back from that? Or is it going to seep into the rest of the team? And is everybody going to get down? And, you have to have an even keel. And I think we've kind of done a better job of kind of finding that on our squad. It's not just kind of just saying the heck with it. They scored a touchdown. We're down 14 points or something like that. First game of the year, we were down 12-0 to Western Reserve, scored 30 unanswered. And I just think that was a really big step for us as a team to kind of understand that, we can hang with teams. We can come back and win against good teams. And, we've been able to do that on a couple occasions. And I wish we weren't down and have to come back, because we started slow in a lot of games where if we didn't, I think we probably could have pulled them out. But that's part of the process. It really is, and it's tough to accept sometimes as a coach, because you just want everything to fall into place right away. But it doesn't always work that way. So as the year's gone on, we're starting to figure things out a little bit more and more. We're getting in better shape. I think that was another thing that we needed to do, coming into the year, and has gotten better and better. But definitely, I think the biggest thing is just mentally being able to stay focused and kind of stay locked in. The game has been the biggest step for us.
Coach, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to join us today. I'm sure, as every week, you're probably very busy on game week, especially the day before game day. So we appreciate the time. We look forward to talking to you again real soon, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks a lot, guys. Again, I really appreciate you having me on.